In today's video, we're going to talk about if natural bodybuilding is dead.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, I'm going to do inside because the hurricane just passed, and although things are fine, they went very well here in Tampa. We were very fortunate. My generator is running because the power is out, and so it's loud because of that, and it's still a little bit windy outside. So yeah, going to shoot the video right here in my new office and discuss today's topic. So first of all, thank you all for the nice messages during the hurricane, everyone checking on me. I tried to keep everybody up to date. You know, we just got a lot of wind here. The power lines go out during hurricanes in Florida because the tree limbs usually knock them off. So hopefully we'll have the power back within a day or so. But I was fortunate with my generator. You know, that was one of the reasons I decided to stay. I know a lot of people ask, you know, what makes you stay in a hurricane, and basically I just assessed the situation from I was not susceptible to flooding based on where I'm at. I'm not susceptible to power loss. So really the only question then would be life-threatening winds, which ended up not being the case at all. By the time the storm got near me, it was a level 1 hurricane, which is 75-mile-an-hour winds. So yeah, thunderstorms in Florida can be about that bad. So yeah, it was fortunate that it went the way it did for a lot of Florida. Other people are underwater, so yeah, I think we escaped a lot of it. Everyone I know, all my friends and family have done well, and so thank goodness. But I wanted to address the video that Marc Lobliner made the other day called "Is Natural Bodybuilding Dead?" And he made some very good points. But I want to address kind of my thoughts on the topic, coming from my perspective. And let me first say this about Marc Lobliner. He is a class act who loves natural bodybuilding more than anyone. So when someone's going to make a video about is natural bodybuilding dead or not, I think Marc would be the person to do so, because he puts a lot of his heart and soul into natural bodybuilding. As he said, he co-founded a natural organization. Some of the times I've spent with Marc was when he was judging, guest posing, sponsoring natural bodybuilding shows. His brother Aaron Lobliner competed at the same show as me, the OCB Midwest States, the show that Ray Binkowski runs, which is a fantastic show. So of all the people qualified to discuss natural bodybuilding, even though he does not compete natural, Marc Lobliner is an awesome guy. So if anybody else made this video, it'd be very likely that I would even address it. But I just thought it would be fun to discuss my topics, because I didn't take offense to it, and I don't think anybody should take offense to Marc's video, because his concerns were very real. Something I've noticed. But let me start from the beginning. So when I first became aware of natural bodybuilding in about 2006, 2007, I thought that's something I would like to get involved in. And I live in Florida, so what did I do? I looked up natural bodybuilding shows in Florida. And in 2008 or 2007, I don't remember exactly when I first looked, do you know how many natural drug-tested bodybuilding shows there were in Florida? There was one. There was one show per year, and it was in South Florida. It was called the NGA Pro Universe and American International Championships. And guess what I did? I drove from Tampa down to Coral Springs just to watch that show in 2008 or 2007, whenever it was, and I've been to it almost every year since then. I actually competed in it and earned my pro card there. So for me, from my perspective, is natural bodybuilding dead? No. It may be, however, on the decline from its peak a few years ago. About 2 years ago, it felt like natural bodybuilding was really starting to make some progress and take a foothold. But you see, natural bodybuilding doesn't need to be huge. It doesn't need to have a lot of exposure. It doesn't need to be some big magnanimous thing, right? Natural bodybuilding is really driven by the people that are passionate about it. And a lot of people will complain that there's so many natural bodybuilding organizations, and that it's hard for natural bodybuilding to grow because of that. Well, maybe that's the case, but because there are so many natural organizations, we as competitors have lots of options and places to compete. If you choose to do steroids or compete in an untested, you have one choice, and they make the rules. And if you don't like their rules, you got no other option. Whereas with drug tested, if you don't like the way the NGA runs their shows, you can go compete with the OCB. You don't like the OCB, you can compete with the NANBF. You don't like the NANBF, you can compete with the IPE, the WNBF, the INBA. Probably, I can say a lot of letters, and a lot of the organizations are regional. So that means that they're run. The reason they're regional is because the people that run those organizations tend to run their area. And so for natural bodybuilding to get out of this, someone would have to come in and take over, or at least provide a solution where it's very easy for there to be growth. With technology, what it is, that may be possible in the near future. Do I see this as a bad thing? Not necessarily. I've been to quite a few natural bodybuilding shows this year, and I have seen turnouts that I thought were acceptable, good enough for shows. I'm going to the Cape Cod show in about 4 weeks in October. I think it's October 7th in Cape Cod. It's called the Gaspari Classic. My friend James runs it, and I have been to that show many years. This will probably be my 4th or 5th time going, and I've seen as many as 200 competitors. That's right, at a natural bodybuilding show. So we'll see how the turnout is this year. James puts on a great show. Now, another reason why natural bodybuilding might see a decline is because the promoters that run the shows often switch organizations. And when you switch organizations, you kind of lose momentum. This is my 5th year being a part of the OCB Florida West Coast Classic, which is my show in Tampa. Now, last year I saw my best turnout ever. It was the first year that my show was a pro qualifier because we had the number of participants required for each division to offer a pro card. That was 8. So again, this year we'll have a pro qualifier. One of Marc's other big complaints was that they're giving out too many pro cards. Natural bodybuilding pro cards are so easy to get. And I can't really address how easy it is to get because I haven't been competing as an amateur natural bodybuilder for a very long time. I can say it is still very difficult to win a pro show. But when we're talking about earning pro cards, well, what are you going to compare that to? Are you going to compare it to the NPC? Because the NPC is giving out literally thousands and thousands of pro cards per year. That's right. If you pay attention to what the NPC is doing, they're giving out pro cards to the top 2 at every bikini, every men's physique class at the national shows. The bikini class had 8, so that means there was 16 pro cards awarded at one national show. Now, how many national shows are there? Well, sometimes it's only first, sometimes it's first and second, but you have classic physique, men's physique, women's physique, figure, bodybuilding. So they're giving out thousands of pro cards a year. So if you're going to argue that it's too easy to get a natural pro card, well, you could also argue that it's just as easy, if not easier, to get an IFBB pro card because they are handing them out at a greater rate. So what do I suggest you do? Well, here's what I suggest. If you want to complain or state that natural bodybuilding is dead, support it. The only way the sport is going to grow is if you attend, compete. If you're on the internet and discussing how the sport is dying and you're not supporting it, then just go away. Don't be a part of the discussion. One thing I love about Marc makes a video about how natural bodybuilding is dead, but guess what? He's coming to my show. He's coming to support natural bodybuilding. It's one thing I love about Marc. He states his opinion, but he also backs up his beliefs. And his belief is that natural bodybuilding is a viable option, which is mine. I don't need to promote a show. It actually becomes very cumbersome for me. It becomes time consuming. I have to put a lot into marketing, into ordering trophies, into organizing the event, the day of the show, the tanners. Promoting a show is quite difficult. So why do I do it? Well, guess what? I don't make any money off this show. I spend more money on the trophies. Here's a couple samples of trophies that I've gotten for this year's show. I do not skimp on trophies. I love trophies. When I compete, I want to get a huge trophy if I do well. So what do? I order top of the line. I make sure all my competitors have the opportunity to win an awesome award. I make sure I get some of the best sponsors, that goodie bags are filled. I make sure that the competitors' days are fantastic. As a competitor, I know what it's like to feel like sheep backstage. I don't want anyone to feel like sheep at my show. The competitors come first. Not the judges, not the fans, not me, no one. The competitors come first. So if you have an issue or you feel like natural bodybuilding is dead and you're passionate about it, get out there and do something. If you're not a promoter, go help a promoter. Reach out to someone, see if they need a hand. I don't think natural bodybuilding will ever die, okay? It's not something that's just going to go away because there's so many of us that truly care about it. Yes, there was a big legal battle a couple years ago when natural bodybuilding was at its peak, right? When the Yorton Cup was becoming the biggest show in natural bodybuilding. It was getting a lot of publicity. Well, the Yorton Cup had to go away for a while the two heads of one organization had to battle it out. Well, they have since gone their separate ways and they're now building up their shows on their own time. But we still have so many good options out there. And yes, there will be times when there will be less competitors on stage one year from the next. But that's a normal fluctuation in any sport, okay? Interest can come and go, right? What can help us? More visibility, okay? More people that are showing the stuff. AJ Morris, you're doing a great job with your videos showing what natural bodybuilding is about. You know, when Matt Ogus competed last year and he documented his journey to the stage, he did a great job. You know, Chris Bearcat, who's out of Tampa, he's done a great job documenting the process of natural bodybuilding. That's how it gets out. And guess what? Next year, when I compete as a pro natural bodybuilder, I am going to document the crap out of it on here. It's not going to be the only thing I talk about though, okay? Because my business is very important to me. My clients are very important to me. But I want to document it. I want to be a part of the natural bodybuilding world. But I still compete in the NPC. The NPC puts out fantastic shows. There is no reason why there can't be multiple different organizations as opportunities for people to compete in. They're completely different experiences, right? I love competing in the NPC. They have a fantastic product. I love the promoters. I love the brand. But I also love competing in natural bodybuilding. I love supporting it, being involved in it. And you know what, guys? There's no reason why it all can't get along. There's no reason to state that natural bodybuilding is dead or dying, because I can assure you it's not going anywhere. In fact, from 10 years ago, when I found that one show in Florida, it's increased quite a bit, okay? So let's just say that natural bodybuilding is having a lull, right? But it's about to pop, because I feel like there's something coming in the near future. You know, what brings the sport up are great competitors that get a lot of attention. Well, all we need is some new blood in the sport, and so I'll make that happen. I'm bringing Chad Nutter with me to the show in Cape Cod, and I'm going to document a couple of my pro bodybuilders at that show, and you'll see what pro natural bodybuilding is all about. So for you guys that compete, or you guys that are interested in competing, get out to the shows, support them, document them. If you're competing or thinking about competing, document it. Share your journeys. This is how natural bodybuilding is going to continue to build itself and grow. All right, guys, so that's my opinion. You guys can disagree with me all you want. I'm certainly not the authority, but I have competed in natural bodybuilding. I have earned a pro card. I do promote a show, and I do coach clients that compete in natural shows. So, you know, I feel like as much as anyone, I am allowed to have an opinion. Anyway, guys, it's Monday. We're dealing with the post-hurricane stuff. I hope you guys are well, everyone in the Florida area as well. I want you guys to have an awesome week. I'm hoping my flights are still good to come out to Las Vegas on Thursday for the Olympia. I can't wait to meet you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.